Namaste guys, ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consulting, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Thursday evening here in Denver, Colorado. It is about a little after 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, and just went to Target, got some groceries. I usually have my groceries delivered to me, but I was out and about, just got a new haircut. Hopefully you guys like the clean, short, professional look, as opposed to the crazy hippie look. So I was looking at my calorie consumptions, my macros, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and I was looking what I want to accomplish moving into 2020. And some of you may follow the little journey before of me putting on 20 pounds of lean body mass. I thought I was going to do it in 8 weeks. It actually took me about 14 months to do it. So I would be considered a hard gainer is the term. Somebody who has a hard time putting on weight. And so my next goal, my next aspiration for the next couple months is losing more weight while keeping my lean body mass. So what would that mean? It means less carbohydrates and more protein. Now, for those of you who know me really well, one of my favorite things in the entire planet are sweet things. Cookie, pie, brownie. Like a cookie ice cream sandwich is like the best of the best, right? Really doesn't get much better than that. Bonnie, namaste. So, went to the grocery store and instead of buying my usual carbohydrates, like my, for the longest time, Paula, namaste, for the longest time in the morning, I would have a bowl of oatmeal. This is probably the past 3 years almost. I'd have a bowl of oatmeal with a cup of mixed fruits like raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, some cinnamon, some honey or maple syrup, and I'd eat that. But that's like, that one bowl, do you know, namaste, that one bowl of oatmeal was equivalent to about almost half of my carbohydrates for the whole day. So basically, there's many different schools of thought. There's many different practices. I'm only sharing with you what I've studied and what I've applied and what has worked for me. Might not work for you. So basically, it's 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 160 pounds, my body's about 161 pounds. I'm going to do about 160 to 220 grams of protein per day. Carbohydrates, 1 gram per body, 1 gram of carbohydrates per pound of body weight. And then for fats, 0.5 grams per 1 pound of body fat, or 1 pound of body weight. So I have to up my protein this coming year, and I have to, I'm gonna say, and I have to decrease my carbohydrates. Now, does that mean eliminate them entirely? Of course not. That doesn't mean eliminate carbohydrates entirely. It just means reduce them and increase my protein consumption. So I got my almonds, I got my hummus, I got my different kinds of mixed cheese. I got one of my favorite things in the world, Silk, protein milk. I am not a fan. This is almond and cashew, but I typically get almond, but sometimes they only have almond and cashew. 10 grams of protein per serving. I use that for my smoothies, my protein smoothies. And I'm not a big fan of soy, and I'm not a big fan of milk. I like ice cream, but that's about it. So the people like, there was a mutual acquaintance. A friend and I had a mutual acquaintance, and this person loved, listen to me when I say this, loved a tall 8-ounce glass of milk. Amanda, namaste, good to have you back on. A tall 8-ounce glass of milk. Now, that makes me sick to my stomach even thinking about it. I haven't had a glass of milk, couldn't tell you, 15 years maybe even longer. It's probably been like 25 years since I've had a tall, cold glass of milk. It just makes me sick thinking about it. And this person had horrible health, horrible eating habits, no exercise program, lots of drug use, lots of drinking. Like, the person wasn't in good shape. But also the fact that she went to town on the glasses of milk. Not my thing. Sleepy time tea. Big fan of sleepy time. Actually, I like yogi tea, but this is traditional medicinals. Also a good brand. Where I went to in Target, they didn't have yogi tea. I prefer yogi tea, but this is also a good brand as well. And then obviously the canned beans right here. Black beans and kidney beans. Was busting that out hard. And then half and half. Which is funny because you're like, Christian, didn't you just say you would never have an 8-ounce glass of milk, but you have half and half, which is denser than milk? What gives? You're contradicting yourself. Maybe so. But I put this in coffee. A little bit. Just a little snip, a little smidge, a little pinch, a little dab, if you will, to lighten up my coffee. Because I have friends of mine who drink their coffee black. Super, super black. Not my thing. So, what else? Another thing that I cut down on was fruit. Fruit. So that's, you guys see me, hear me? Yes? It's fruit. I cut down on my fruit considerably. I used to get eight green apples or more, 8 red apples or more. I get a pineapple, I get a mango, and I bust out some other fruits and vegetables along the way. And I realized that's just too much carbohydrates. It's too much sugar. It's too much sweets for my delicate system. And as I've practiced our Hatha Yoga over the years, 8 a day? No, not 8 a day. That would be aggressive. 8 apples a day. I would typically eat about 2 to 3 apples a day. And it was funny because one of my exes, when she met me, every time she saw me, wherever she saw me, in town, walking around, at a store, coming out of a store, meeting up with her at a coffee shop, she always saw me eating a green apple. It was like my thing for the longest time, for like 3 or 4 years. So we had a bunch of jokes about me eating green apples. So I'm cutting down on my fruit intake because it's fructose, which is good for the brain. If you think a lot, your body is burning up a lot of glucose, and then the sugar that's stored in the muscles called glycogen. But I got to balance it out. I got to minimize my carbohydrates. In our society where everything and anything has sugar in it, sugar in some way, shape, or form, it's a little challenging, right? It's a little challenging. But as an Arhatic yogi for 15, almost 16 years, I've realized the higher I go with my practice, the more important my diet becomes. You don't really notice it in the beginning when you start practicing. Like, you'll have people go, well, you know, I eat meat all the time and I feel great. And I go like, okay, do you meditate? Nah, not really. Okay, how about this? Start meditating for about 3 months. Keep eating meat and see what you notice, right? Things are going to start happening because as you continue to open up your channels, your aura, your chakras, your meridians, namaste, more energy is going to start coming into your system, and that energy is going to start stirring up things within your system. So if your system is full of disease-heavy stress energy, or if it's full of gross, dense meat, again, this is not a moral argument, this is not an ethical argument, this is simply the discussion on energy. Meat is denser, heavier energy than fruits and vegetables. Simple as that. So the more meat you consume, the more you clog up the channels or energy channels within your body, preventing higher vibrational energies to easily flow through your system. So as you continue to meditate and as you continue to practice higher spiritual practices over your life, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start noticing, you're going to start noticing how you have to minimize your meat intake and then maybe eventually become strict vegetarian. So how often do you eat meat? I don't. I don't eat meat because it doesn't work for my physiology. Whenever I've accidentally eaten meat or I intentionally eat meat because I'm like, all right, my body's hungry, there's nothing else around, there's no fruits, there's no vegetables, and I gotta eat something, you know, I'll have a burger, I'll have a bite of somebody's steak, or I'll get my own steak or whatever. And then inevitably, more now than ever before, my body will feel horrible. Horrible. Like really, really bad. So I learned my lesson that if I want to keep going higher and higher and higher in my spiritual practice, and I want to keep doing what I'm doing, then I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. And one of those sacrifices is no more meat, right? It's as simple as that. So, hope that helps you guys out. Do you have any other questions, comments, concerns? These vegan sausages by Morningstar. Morningstar is a decent brand. These vegan sausages, sausage patties you have in the morning, good source of protein, not a lot of calories, and really tasty. Like if you like sausages and the taste and seasoning of sausages, this is a really good brand. Digging your haircut, also been way more conscious of my body fuel as of late. That's awesome. Helps you feel so much better. Higher vibey. I like that, higher vibey. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Again, I'm not about getting into the conversation of veganism, vegetarianism, eating meat, if it's ethical, if it's moral, if it's this, if it's that. You have to practice your own discernment, just like eating. If you're meditating and you're eating a meat-based diet and you realize, wow, every time I'm done meditating, I get a headache. Or every time I'm done eating meat, I get a headache or a stomach ache. Why is that? So you have a choice. You can slow down on your meditation practice, right? Or you can stop eating meat. Or the other option is you can continue suffering. I don't recommend that path, but you can also continue suffering. So that's something that you have to decide. I would prefer to eat meat. You guys heard that, right? The healer yogi guy would prefer to eat meat. I grew up steak, salad, potatoes and vegetables. Almost every meal throughout my teenage, from like 13 to 18 years old roughly. But I started meditating when I was 19, didn't notice it that much. And then over time, as my system became cleaner, pure, more open, I naturally stopped eating meat. And then I didn't eat meat for several years. Then I started eating meat again. And then I stopped eating meat again for several years. Then I started eating meat again. Well, why is that? Because meat is also grounding. So if you're doing really high spiritual practices, that is opening up the crown, opening up the forehead, opening up the ajna, opening up the throat, opening up the heart, and you're like an inverted pyramid where you're just like, woo! You're not very tethered to Mother Earth, right? By eating meat, because it's dense, because it's heavy, it drops your energy, it drops your vibration. But if your goal is to keep going up and 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 up, it doesn't help to be anchored down with your physiology. Does that make sense? So that's why you see a lot of yogis, consciously or unconsciously, being vegetarian or being vegan. Vegan, for me, it's still, the verdict is still out. I have not met very many healthy vegans. So it's the old saying is like, well, are they doing it properly? Are they eating a lot of processed foods that don't have animal products? Or are they eating too much of one kind of fruit or vegetable and they're not having enough variety in their diet? Are they missing trace minerals that are very important for them, like B12 or most B vitamins are not very ample in a vegetarian or vegan diet? So it depends, right? I have not met very many healthy vegans, has been my experience. But are they out there? I'm sure they are. Just like there's healthy meat eaters, right? And then there's healthy people who only eat seafood, right? So it really depends on your physiology, your level of awareness, and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Make sense? So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me and helping me put away my my groceries for today. Also, I don't know if you noticed that Facebook, I just saw it as I was logging in today to do the live stream, is that now Facebook has a dating app or dating profile or dating something. I have no idea what it is. I basically tried to log on to put in the video, and then it had a little pop-up window that says, do you want to create your Facebook dating profile? But it's like, isn't that what everyone's doing anyways? On Facebook, on Tinder, on eHarmony, on Match, on OkCupid, on Plenty of Fish. I mean, a lot of people like to use the free services, and then when they're deeply ready to commit, then they sign up for the paid services like Match or eHarmony. Yeah, as I recommend to my clients who are looking for love, you have to get very, very clear of who you are, right? Your needs, wants, and desires. And then you also have to get very clear on how you're going to add value to the relationship of the person that you're looking to be. Because if you're a good person, you will attract a good person. But if you're in chaos, you will attract a person in chaos. And then you want to open up as many channels as possible to create that opportunity to meet that person, right? It could be through OkCupid. It could be through a meetup that you're part of. It could be networking events that you go to, right? There's many different physical and digital ways of opening yourself up to the possibility of love and meeting the right person. But right now, I have other things to focus on. I have other more important things to focus on than quote unquote finding love or attracting love or whatever thing that you want to talk about. My career is important. My healing practice is important. My spiritual practice is important. And if somebody fits into that, great. If they don't, then they don't, right? I have a very unique lifestyle with a lot of unique requirements. So it doesn't fit for probably 95% of the world's population. And that's okay. It is what it is, right? I accept that. It's what I signed up for many, many, many moons ago. So that being said, if I can assist you in your healing process, if I can assist you in finding love and intimacy, Billy, namaste. Good to have you on for the first time. If I can assist you in transforming your life, which I have 15 years of experience doing it, it's not a hobby, it's my full-time career and profession and my dharma or my purpose, then go to ChristianRLong.com. It's my name. You'll see me with longer hair on the website. ChristianRLong.com. Sign up for consultation. Let's add some value to your life to start the ball rolling. Or if you know exactly what you need help on, then sign up for a healing, and we do it distantly on FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, whatever's convenient for you. And that's it. So if you got value out of tonight, watching me go through my groceries, share it on your personal and professional pages, and I look forward to serving you in the very near future. This is Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye. Love you guys.